Bro, I need you to imagine this. You win a final, you lift the trophy, you celebrate with your teams, you post it on Instagram, caption, "We made history," and then a few days later, someone emails you like, "Hey, quick question. Can you return that trophy?" That is basically what just happened to Senegal. And I'm not even exaggerating. They didn't lose the final, bro. They won it on the pitch. Extra time. Finished. Story over. But CAF looked at that and said, "Yeah, we saw it, but we have not." Bro, this is not a movie, bro. And now officially Morocco are champions. So now we have situation where Senegal won the game, Morocco won the decision, and somehow both things exist at the same time. That's not football. That's multiverse. Yeah. No, let's calm down for a second. Because as crazy as this sounds, there is actually a rule behind it. CAF regulation says if a team abandons the match, refuses to continue, or disrupts play, they can be punished with a forfeit loss, usually 3-0. And Senegal did something important. They walked off the pitch. Not forever, not like we quit football, but for around 15 minutes. They left, but then they come back, finish the game, and won. So now the whole case depends on one question. Is that abandoning the match or just protesting inside the match? Because if it's abandonment, CAF is technically correct. But if it's just protest, oh, bro, this punishment feels insane, bro. 15 minutes. That's not abandonment. That's like time out with attitude. That's not leaving the game. That's taking a walk to calm down. That's me arguing with someone and saying, "Hold on, I need air." And then come back like, "Okay, let's finish this." But Kav said, "Nope. Once you touch grass, it's over." Now, here where it gets interesting. Let's think about Diego Armando Maradona, 1686 World Cup. He literally scored with his hand. Everybody knows it. The world saw it. That's not even controversial anymore. That's historical cheating. Did FIFA come back later and say, "You know what, cancel Argentina title"? Oh no, because football has always followed one philosophy. What happened on the pitch stays. Unless you break something bigger than the game itself. And CAF is basically saying this is bigger than the game. Not a bad call, not a wrong decision, but a violation of the structure. And that's why it's dangerous. Because now fans are looking at this like, wait, so the match doesn't matter anymore? Why we play 120 minutes? Why score? Why we fight? If the real result happens in a meeting room, that's where people get uncomfortable. Not because of Morocco, but because of the system. Now, Senegal, they are not accepting this. They are basically saying this is unjust, this is disproportionate, this doesn't reflect what happened on the pitch. And honestly, for this perspective, they are right. Because in their reality, they played, they won, they lift the trophy. So now you are telling them, yeah, none of that counts. That's not just losing. That's being erased, bro. And that hits different. No, Morocco. This is awkward, bro. Because they didn't cheat. They didn't break rules. They just used the system. They're like, hey, we didn't take it. They gave it to us. And it's fair. But emotionally, it's weird. Because usually, when you win a trophy, there's no debate anymore. And this is where it becomes bigger than football. Because now, we are not arguing about match. We are arguing about rules versus fairness, law versus spirit of the game, and authority versus trust. And football needs all there. You need rules, but also need people to believe those rules are fair. Because once fans stop believing, the game changes. Not physically, but emotionally. And football without emotion, that's just running. And I swear, only in football you can win a final and still need a lawyer. Next thing you know, teams will celebrate with a trophy and a legal advisor. Yeah, we won, but let's wait for the email. Okay, I love football because it's never just about the game. It's about moments, decision, and sometimes things that don't even make sense like that. So, if you enjoy conversation like this, just stick around because we are definitely gonna talk about more of this. See you next one.